You know, our sex life didn't just peter out in the usual way. It was cut off short, long before the natural time for it to. And it's going to revive again just as sudden as that. I'm confident of it. That's what I'm keeping myself attractive for. For the time when you see me again like the other men see me. Yes, like the other men see me. They still see me, Brick. They like what they see. Look, Brick. How high my body stays on me. Nothing has fallen on me, not a fraction. My face looks strange sometimes, but I've kept my figure as well as you've kept yours, and men admire it. I still turn heads on the street. Why, last week in Memphis, everywhere I went, men's eyes burned holes in my clothes. In country clubs and restaurants and department stores, there wasn't a man I met or walked by that didn't just eat me up with his eyes and turn to look at me as I passed. Why, at Alice's party for her New York cousins, the best looking man in the crowd followed me upstairs, tried to force his way into the powder room with me. Followed me upstairs, tried to force his way in. I might sometimes cheat on you with someone since you're so insultingly eager to have me do it. But if I do, you can be damn sure it will be at a time and at a place where nobody but me and the man could possibly know, because I'm not going to give you any excuse to divorce me for being unfaithful or anything else. No, I'd rather stay on this hot tin roof. And I can stay on it just as long as I'd like.
You could leave me, Maggie.
Don't want to and will not. Separation would cost you. And what if you gobble what you get from Big Daddy and he's dying of cancer?
Big Mama said he wasn't, that the report was okay.
That's because she got the same story they gave him and was just as taken in by it as he was, poor old thing. But tonight they're going to tell her the truth. When Big Daddy goes to bed, they're going to tell her that he's dying of cancer and it's malignant and it's hopeless.
Does Big Daddy know it?
How do they ever know it? Nobody says you're dying. You have to fool them. They have to fool themselves. So this is Big Daddy's last birthday. And you want to know something, Brick? Big Daddy made no will. Big Daddy never made out any will in his life. And that is why May and Gooper have launched into their campaign to impress him as forcibly as they can with the fact that you drink and I've borne no children. Brick, you know I've been so goddamn disgustingly poor all my life. Always had to suck up to people I couldn't stand because they had money and I was poor as Job's turkey. And you don't know what that's like. I'll tell you, it's like you'd feel 1,000 miles away from Echo Spring. And you had to get back to it on that broken ankle without a crutch. That's what it feels like to be as poor as Job's turkey and have to suck up to people that you hated because they had money and all you had was a bunch of hand-me-down clothes and a few old moldy 3% government bonds. My daddy loved his liquor. He fell in love with his liquor the way you've fallen in love with Echo Spring. And my poor mama, having to maintain some semblance of a social position to keep appearances up on an income of $150 a month to those old government bonds. When I came out, the year I made my debut, I had just 2 evening dresses. One my mother made for me from a pattern in Vogue, and the other a hand-me-down from a snotty old rich cousin I hated. The dress I married you in was my grandmother's wedding gown. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. You gotta be old with money, because to be old without it is just too awful. You can be one or the other, either young or old and with money, and that is the truth, Brick. Well, I'm dressed. All dressed with nothing else to do. All dressed with nothing else to do. I know where I made my mistake. I've been thinking about it a whole lot, and I know where I made my mistake. Yes, I made my mistake by telling you the truth about that thing with Skipper. I never should have confessed it. A fatal error was telling you about that thing with Skipper.